1 John chapter 3, starting at the first verse. If you could just be patient with me, I'm just going to read 10 verses. And you may be seated at that time. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. Say, like him.
Like him.
For we shall see him as he is. And every man that had this hope in him purified himself, even as he is pure. Verse 4, whosoever committeth sin transgression against the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. Say, no sin.
No sin.
Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him. And he cannot sin because he is born of God. Say, born of God.
Born of God.
In this, the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. God has already blessed his holy word. Now, before you sit down, I need you to do one thing. Look at the person beside you, to your left and to your right, and say, neighbor, how much sin is in your life? You may be seated. How much sin is in your life? Jesus. My prayer as I preach from Sunday to Sunday is that there are some nuggets that you pick up that you can apply to your life, that you can be better at being better at God. Yes. Meaning that you're better in your relationship with him and you're better at serving him. And as I stated Sundays ago, there is some spiritual disciplines that must come along with that process to have a changed life. The meaning is we must do some things. We must maintain some things in order to be better at serving him. And for that reason, we'll continue to talk about spiritual disciplines as it relates to the things that you do. But I don't want your focus only to be on those things that builds your spiritual discipline. Those things like prayer, the things like studying your word, the things like fasting, the things like obedience to God. I don't want you just to concentrate on those things to build your spirituality. I want you also to make sure that you understand that you have to keep some other things away as well. That you have to have some disciplines as it comes to other things. And that other thing that I'm talking about is sin. See, the thing is, we can't forget about sin. We can't forget that sin is lurking around us every day. Sin is there to try to get us to attach ourselves to it. And for some reason, I don't understand about this new time ministry where preachers don't preach on sin. They don't even talk about it. They don't even want to discuss it. They don't even offer salvation to people. I don't understand about that. And see, the thing that I have to understand is that I believe that also people as believers have become comfortable with sin. They've gotten to the point that sin has become acceptable in their life. And right now it is occupying a certain percentage of who they are. That's right. We have grown accustomed and we've grown connected to some sin. I remember when I was growing up in the church that when my pastor would preach about sin every week, he would talk about it, he would preach about it, he would holler about it. And the thing is, when I found out what sin was, and even when I was a sinner, I was constantly looking over my shoulder because I was afraid Jesus Christ was coming back soon. And I was afraid that the sin that I was doing, that I would get caught up for doing it. And that's the thing. I had a fear of it. But see, the thing is, these days, it has become so easy now. It's become so easy that sin has become part of who we are. We don't even have the fear of the consequences. We don't even have fear of the ramifications, meaning from an eternal standpoint. We don't even have fear of God because we don't look at sin the same way. And see, the thing is that I get to understand today is, I believe the reason it's like that is because we have grown accustomed to understand that we serve a forgiving God, and yes, He is. And we serve a God that if we repent, He will forgive us, and yes, He will. But the thing is, we can't have predicated or premeditated sin and then offer premeditated repentance. Let me help you understand. See, the thing is, we can't plot and we can't scheme to sin in advance and then also include repentance as part of our plan. Meaning that we strategize sometime of the sin we're going to commit. Meaning we know it's sin, but we set out and we look at it and we say we're going to do it anyway, even though we know it's wrong. Right. And all the long time and all the while we are expecting to repent after we have already premeditated thoughts on the sin that we're going to commit. And that's the thing, that's not right. That's not right. And I want you to understand that we have to understand that there is consequences to committing sin in our life. And see, I try to tell people that, you know what, I'm okay with picking people up when they get knocked down. I'm okay with brushing people off when they fall down on the ground. I will clean you up if you make one mistake. I will help clean you up if you make two mistakes. But the thing is, don't come to me when you have already committed your sin and you set out to plot against the sin and do the sin in your life and expect me to clean up the mess. I can't do it. I can't do it because you already had your mind made up that you were going to commit the very sin that God told you not to commit. And see, the thing is, what we have to do is we have to put our flesh under subjection. We have to put our flesh under subjection to the Holy Spirit and allow the Holy Spirit to take control. Galatians 5:16 and 17 said this, walk in the Spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that you would. See, they are contrary. The Spirit is on one side, and the flesh is on the other. And how many of us have given way to more flesh than Spirit? Oh, that's right. I'm going to encourage you later on in the message. How many of us have done more fleshly things than spiritual things? How many of us have found ourselves living like the flesh and less like the Spirit? And see, that's the thing. We have to do a full examination of ourselves and see how much flesh is in us, and then determine what we're going to do with the flesh and the sin that's in our life. See, in 1 John chapter 3, John attempts to help us to take a close inventory of ourselves and help us evaluate the sin influence that is in our life. Go to 1 John chapter 3. In the first verse, it says this, and I'm almost done. It says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we shall be called the sons of God. See, he says that. John is saying that God showed enough love for us that he claimed us as a son of God. He claimed us. He put his name on us. He tagged us for him. The thing is, he said that we belong to him. We are a Christian. We are aligned with him. And he said, for that reason, you are my son. And see, the thing that it is that we have to understand is that if we're classified as a son of God, and John makes it very clear that if we call ourselves a son of God, and we call ourselves Christians, a sinful life is not attached to who we are. Oh, it's quiet, but it's okay. It's not attached to who we are, meaning that we don't maintain sin in our life. And he said, for this reason, that the world can't relate to who we are, meaning that the world realizes that we are different, meaning that the world realizes that we have a likeness of God, meaning that the world realizes that there's something different about us because we can't resemble sin because our Father does not resemble sin. Our character is not like the world. Our conduct is not like the world because we don't have a sinful nature. But how many know that's not true in all cases? Because I'll tell you the truth, sometimes I can't tell a believer's character and conduct from the world's character and conduct. And see, that's the thing. We have to be different. We have called ourselves sons of God. There is a life that we maintain, and that's the thing that we have to understand. And see, the thing we got to understand is, see, if we call ourselves different, our conversation can't be the same. We can't talk about the same thing. We can't talk about people like the world do. We can't do the things that the world do. We can't take part in lustful conversations like the world does. Meaning if the women, if there's a group of men talking about a woman and lusting over her body, we can't partake in that. We have to send ourselves in another direction. All right. That's it. All right. Yeah, and see the thing is, our actions can't be the same as well. People, we can't act like the world. We can't act like the world. We can't handle situations like the world handles situations. I have yet to understand why Christians and believers are some of the meanest people that we have encountered. See, the thing is, we have no problem going off on people. We have no problem telling people or giving a piece of our mind. But the thing is, why can't we have the same confidence and boldness when it comes to our trials and the things of spirituality? Why can't we have that same boldness and confidence when it comes to those things? If we had that same boldness in the spirit that we have in the flesh, guess what? Satan will run every time he comes against us. That's the thing. We got to understand that our character and our conduct has to be different. And see, that's the thing. He's telling us, John said, he said, because we are sons of God, what we shall be has not fully been revealed as of yet. Because we shall be like Christ. Guess what he said? He said, we shall purify ourselves as Christ is pure. Meaning that we have to be holy. We have to act holy. We have to talk holy. We have to say holy things. We have to do holy things. And guess what? Sin cannot be part of the equation. And the reason he said that all of this is possible is because he said Christ has manifested himself, meaning that Christ has given his life on the cross so that we may be able to get rid of the sinful nature that sometimes attaches itself to us. Christ took away sin so that we might live. So I need to ask the question to everybody in this place. How much sin is in your life? How much sin is occupying the very life you live? If you just go ahead and take a moment to evaluate yourself and look over and take an inventory of the things that's in you, come on and let's analyze what part is sin and what part is spirit. And then the thing is, we have to disconnect ourselves from those things that are classified from sin and stop allowing them to linger in our life. I know the Bible said we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. I know that we serve a forgiving God, but he said in verse 6, John said, in verse 6 he said, whosoever abide in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. What he's saying is, he who is of God does not commit sin. All right. Amen. Don't do it. He said, if you're of God, you don't commit sin. People say, well, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. That's true. Yeah. But you don't have to sin. People of God, we have gone accustomed to the world's way of thinking. The world's way of thinking is that we fall short on everything. That is that we don't have to fall short on anything. We can build ourselves with enough spiritual discipline that we walk in the holiness that God has called us to walk in. What we have done is we have come and we have had the world's way of thinking about things. Therefore, we have settled for sinful nature. And see, that's the thing. That's why I don't preach once saved, always saved. I don't believe it. I don't preach it, and you ain't going to hear me say it. Because your lifestyle dictates your status. If you live a life that signifies, identifies with somebody saved, guess what? You saved. But if you live a sinful life, guess what? You ain't saved. All right. Sorry. Got to be said. But John comes and says this. He gives us a warning. He says, look, verse 7, he says, little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. I don't care what people say. Don't let them trick you into having you believe that there's nothing wrong with a little something, something. Yeah, don't let the people deceive you to make you believe that it's okay doing this little sin. It ain't big, it ain't major, it ain't adultery, it ain't fornication. You can go ahead and do that. It's okay, it's all right. Don't let people deceive you into believing that sin is okay. Sin is sin, and it's attached to the Satan. And anything that's sinful belongs to Satan. That's why I don't allow little things to linger in my life. I don't have it, I don't put up with it. And you can call me church boy all you want to. You can call me choir boy all you want to. I don't let little things linger around me that can be attached to my holiness. I don't let things come to me that can be attached to my anointing. Because the thing is, people will deceive you. They will have you to believe that it's okay to do everything. They say it's okay to cuss somebody out. They say it's okay to drink the drink. They say it's okay to go to that place. They say it's okay to hang with that person. No, it's not okay. Because I have to protect my righteousness. My righteousness is attached to God. Because I am a son of God. And who the Son has set free, I am free from sin. I'm not compromising my righteousness. Not going to do it. And that's what we have to understand. Yeah, you may think, or the next person may not think there's nothing wrong with it. But what is the Spirit telling you? The Spirit might be telling you, you have to set yourself as an example and show the people how to pull themselves away from things that can attach to their flesh. And so he said this, he said, righteous because he's righteous, meaning that righteousness is something that you have to practice, people. Righteousness has to be intentional. It has to be purposeful. It has to be something that you work hard at doing. You can't just wake up in the morning and just think you're going to be righteous. No, that's not spiritual discipline. You have to understand that there is a life that is attached to righteousness. You got to evaluate yourself because he said righteousness is righteous even as he is righteous, meaning that even as Christ is righteous. Let me help you. With some of the things you say, will Christ say it? With some of the things that you do, will Christ do it? With some of the places you go, will Christ go? That's Christ's righteousness. And guess what? My righteousness has to look like Christ's righteousness. How many people in this place can compare themselves to the things that they have read in the Word and classify your righteousness as Christ's righteousness? Yes. We have to understand that our righteousness is important. I'm almost done. But he said in verse 8, this is going to make somebody mad. He that committeth sin is of the devil. For the devil sinneth from the beginning. See, folk don't like to be called the devil. They don't like to be said you are living like the devil. They don't like to hear you say you acting like the devil. They run away from all type of language like that. But it says here in his word, he that committeth sin is of the devil. That's clear and to the saying that people that create or that commit perpetual sins, meaning sins that are continual, meaning sins that are indefinite, meaning sins that are frequent, you are like the devil. And the thing is, even though God has manifest, you have not attached yourself to him, nor do you understand who he is. And that's the thing that we have to understand, is that if your plan is of sin, then you are working for Satan. But if your plan is of righteousness, then you are serving the Lord. It ain't no in between. It's black and white. It ain't no other color involved. If you're sinning, you're attached to Satan because you're carrying out his work. But if you're living righteous, the Lord is with you along the way. I'm so glad that I'm living a righteous life, that you can say, the Lord is with me. I know because I look like him, because I'm his child, because I'm his heir. Yes, and he's my father, and he's my king. Yes, because my life is a life that exemplifies holiness, and sin doesn't live in me. But see, that's the thing. We got to get to the point where we understand that whoever we identify with our work with, that's who we serve. If we serve more flesh, then we're serving Satan. If we serve the Spirit, we're serving God. But I can't leave you just like that. Because he comes back, and John comes back and says, for this purpose, the Son of God was manifest, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Verse 9 says, whosoever is born of God does not commit sin, for his seed, say seed, remaineth in him, and he could not sin because he is born of God. Let me help you. He said, for this purpose, the Son of God was manifested. He means for that very reason that we sometimes commit sin and attach ourselves to the devil. Jesus Christ was manifested. He said it again in the 8th verse that he said earlier in the earlier verses. He said it again to remind you and to give you encouragement that Jesus Christ came to die so that you would not have to serve Satan. That's what he gave his life up on the cross. He said he was manifested that he might destroy the work of Satan, because he knows that the power of Jesus Christ is greater than the power of Satan, and that which he has done on the cross is good enough to maintain, to protect us and guide us. But then the 9th verse says, for his seed remaineth in him. Jesus Christ did enough to destroy Satan. But the thing that we have to understand is because we have accepted him as our Lord and Savior, we have enough within us to fight against Satan too. Some people may not think that you have the ability to fight against flesh. Some people may not think that you have the ability to fight against sin. Some people may think that you tried everything you wanted to try, and you did everything you wanted to do, and you did your best to deny the sin that found its way to you. But I came here today to let you know that you have enough within you to fight against the tricks of the Satan. You got enough in you that can destroy his work. You got enough in you that you don't have to yield to the temptation of sin. You got enough could not cast out the devil. The man came to Jesus, yes, to get him to do the work that he told the disciples to do. And guess what? Yes, the disciples was wondering why they couldn't cast out the demon. Well, the Lord needed to help their unbelief. He said, yes, that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, that you may be able to speak to some mountains, and the mountains shall be removed. Yes, yes, nothing is impossible. Yes, that's the belief portion. And if you have a little seed in you, yes, you can speak to the very mountain of sin that's in you, and the mountain shall be removed. But it didn't stop there. He said, all this coming by fasting and praying. That's the feed portion of the seed. You gotta believe your seed and feed your seed. I came in today to let you know that sin does not have to live in you. If you keep believing in the Spirit and feeding the Spirit, you got to remember that you are sons of God. You are in God's likeness. You were created to look like God. You were created to act like God. You were created to be like God. It's in you. You can overcome the challenges of the world and get rid of any sin that's in your life. Because the Spirit lives in you. It abides in you. It takes up residence in you. Oh yeah, I'm so glad that I'm like the righteousness of God. Yes, you can tell in the way I walk. You can tell in the way I talk. You can tell in the way I act. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
All right.
You don't have to allow sin to linger. You have the power over sin. Yeah. We just have to have the ability to choose sides. Verse 10 says, it says, in this, the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. John is saying now that we've gone through this whole process of 9 verses. I I've explained to you what the characteristics of someone that serves God is, and the characteristics of someone that serves the devil. Now, you have a choice of who you want to be identified with. Anybody that doesn't live in like righteousness is not of God. Neither he that loveth not his brother. Why do you put love in? Because he realized that love is part of the equation.
Jesus.
It was love that allowed him to let us be saved. So we have to accept all that comes with the equation. Not only do we have to live a righteous life, but our life must signify that of love for all people. I don't care if they've done something wrong. We can't be saved and not loved.